I've been holding your comment aside to talk about Cassian's like bullshit ain't shit behavior. Not that I necessarily need an opportunity to talk about Cassian's bullshit ain't shit behavior. Like I'll bring that up unprompted, like completely out of the blue. Like this is an evergreen topic to me. But it is really interesting to me the kind of behavior that does get called out by the mainstream fandom and how Cassian's just been allowed to slide on by, especially with the way that a lot of mainstream fans who are critical of other characters talk about like Lucian or Asriel. Like there's a lot of discourse about this particular love triangle, and I guess like Vasa and Gwyn as well, but really this is the love triangle that we're talking about. There's a lot of hay to be made about Lucian feeling entitled to Elaine because he is like he's her mate or whatever. Or Asriel feeling entitled to Elaine because they had like this mutual attraction and whatnot, and he just feels like this entitlement towards her for being like the third sister or whatever. Like there's a lot of discourse around them that has to do with that doesn't make any sense to me. And this is speaking as a person who has absolutely chosen a side in the ship war. It's Elreal, by the way. Like they are the moment. Like yes, I'm a Lucian girly. We love Lucian, but no, Elreal is the moment. Like let's be real here. I gotta get back on topic because Lord knows I can't go on another ship war rant again. But I think a lot of that discourse around Asriel and Lucian feeling entitled to Elaine, it rings very hollow to me from mainstream fans because they're only seeing this kind of entitlement and they're letting other kinds of entitlement like slide on by, and neither of these men feel entitled to Elaine like at all, because Lucian's giving Elaine the proper space that she wants and has asked for, and Asriel doesn't feel entitled to basic human decency, let alone the girl of his dreams. So no, like Asriel, Lucian, please get off the floor. I just have a really hard time with this notion that Asriel and Lucian are like these just icky little incels. When honestly, that discourse belongs here. If there's any incel in the ACOTAR cast of characters, it's Cassian, not Asriel or Lucian or anybody else. I cannot believe I'm pulling up an actual definition of incel here. And it doesn't necessarily apply because incels are like online, like they tend to congregate in online communities, and this does not apply to ACOTAR. But I do feel like Cassian does walk around with that kind of mindset. And once you start to notice it, it's really hard to stop noticing it, which is why shitting on Cassian is an evergreen topic for me. Cassian, for one thing, has always kind of been really dismissive of Nessa's boundaries. And this goes on even into Akasif. Like, this has been going on from the moment that he met her, where, like, he is constantly kind of pushing her boundaries and pushing her boundaries and pushing her boundaries, even with something as simple as him calling her Ness. It's cute because, like, it's being framed as cute, but she's legit saying, don't call me that, and he's still doing it. And then this culminates in Nesta actually using like their little bargain tattoo thing in Akasif when she finds out they're mates, and she's just like, I need you to go away. And when he realizes that she didn't word what she wanted him to do correctly, so he was just gonna do what he wanted anyway. And then the narrative essentially is like, oh no, Cassian was right to do that because Nesta gets captured. But at the end of the day, he still was going to violate her boundaries, which is fucked. And this is one thing that I feel like people don't talk about in the mainstream fandom enough when it comes to Cassian. Cassian is really fixated on Nesta's virginity and what she's done sexually that wasn't with him. And he's fixated on it in a way that I noticed right away, even on like a first read through. And it's not necessarily like it is slut shaming her, because the narrative slut shames Nesta actually quite a lot. And that's another conversation for another day. We're not talking about Nesta right now. Cassian's narration during A Court of Frost and Starlight, I remember this very, very clearly, because he was basically talking about like all the sex that she has and like the ways that like she's debasing herself. But also he's just like, why isn't she doing any of that with me? Like, he wanted to be the one to take her virginity. Like, and the way that it's framed, it's like she's going out and fucking other dudes. It is specifically to hurt Cassian, when really it's not really about him at all. Like, it is about him in the sense that like the narrative makes it about him, like, oh, Nesta's punishing herself because she doesn't deserve Cassian or whatever. But like it reads really, really shitty to me. It feeds into this narrative about Nesta essentially like, oh no, I'm fucking all these dudes not because I want to, but because I don't deserve like such a good guy like you. She can't just have sex because she wants to have sex. She needs to fuck other dudes as a way to punish herself. And it's weird. It's weird because Cassian is like the incel of this group, but also the narrative is rewarding him for it. And then it's also inviting all this other discourse about other characters being incels when those characters are actually being gentlemen. Like, I'm sorry. Azrael and Lucian are behaving super, super well. And I think we need to, as people in the ship war, like people who are like still fighting in the ship war, because we are in these damn trenches. I think we need to stop discussing whether Azrael or Lucian is some kind of incel or feels entitlement towards Elaine or Gwyneth or Vasa or Eris or like whatever redheads we want to throw at these people. I think we need to park that discourse where it actually belongs.